the workbook should be pretty easy, I hope. If you know how to do IXL G.1, your homework should be okay, which solve the problem situation. Okay, so the problem situation is, if you read is to find which restaurant's cheaper and when they cost the same. So your main goal is to find which is cheaper. It helps you to solve it if you can find when they're the same first, to explain when is it cheaper, okay, to make common sense in all this. All right, solve the problem situation. Okay, the first, so good. To solve it, you need the equation for both of these. So good, you have a fixed fee or a one-time fee of $10. You got $10 plus $3 per person. That's the cost for so good. So P equals the number of people. And so most of you may use X and Y here. X and Y. We'll keep to that. So X the number of people, Y is just the cost in dollars. Okay? Now, this is where the problem lies on your test. Most of you, almost all of you, are able to write the equation. Some of you had a hard time. Yummy advertised that they charge four people for $18 and 12 people for $50 on this part. This equation, I need to write Yummy on the side here. No, so good. Sorry. This is so good. Okay. And when you're going to do Yummy here, Yummy is, we're going to use same variable. Okay. 4 people for $18. And then 12 people for $50. Okay. So basically y2 minus y1, so x1, y1. You find the slope here, x2, y2, or we call the rate of change. So 50 minus 18, y2 minus y1, that's what it is, over x2 minus x1, x2 is 12. We're finding the slope minus 4. Your rate of change in this case is 32 over 8, which is 4. Your rate of change is 4. Your slope is 4. Right? Yes. 32 plus 18 is 50. Okay, so your rate of change now on your test is just decimals. And it's the same thing. You got a calculator. Should not be any different. I'm not asking you any different. It's just a decimal versus these are whole numbers, because I give you these in whole numbers so you don't have to take out a calculator. But in class, you all should, for the test, you all should have a calculator right there beside you before you start. This is called, slope-intercept form. You got what in slope-intercept form. This is point slope. We're using point slope formula. Most of you have no problem with slope-intercept form equations. This is point slope. Okay. That's that word right there. In order to do that. And you just substitute in your numbers. Y minus y1, which is 18, equals to 4, parentheses x minus 4. And then you distribute, and you want to solve it all the way. Most of you from here should know what to do. If not, you need to practice this correctly. You distribute, okay, and then you add 18, y equals to 4x plus the 2. This equation is now in slope-intercept form compared to this. Who's cheaper in the beginning? Most likely So Good, because their entrance fee is only $10, where Yummy entrance fee is $2. So in the beginning, it'll be cheaper with So Good, okay? Because their rate of change is cheaper. But most likely here, guys, So Good is going to be cheaper all the time because their rate of change is less than Yummy's rate of change. Oh, so sorry. In the beginning, I said this wrong. In the beginning, Yummy is going to cost less because it only charges $2 compared to the $10 So Good is charging. So Yummy is going to charge less because it's $2 only versus $10. But later, So Good's going to be cheaper because it costs less per person. We'll find out when that is by the break-even point. To find the break-even point, you set the equation equal to each other. This slope-intercept form has to equal to this slope-intercept form. So 10 plus 3x has to equal to 4x by using substitution where y is, okay? Minus 3x minus 3x. So we get 10 equals to x plus 2 minus 2 minus 2. X equals to 8. So 8, what? X represent 8 people. Now 8 people will cost both companies. Let's substitute 8 back in here. So if you put 8 here, that's $32, $34. So 8 people, $34 is the break-even point. Both companies with 8 people will charge $34. It doesn't matter. After 8 people, it's best to use So Good because per person is cheaper than when you use it on a thing. So you need to state that. Your problem situation is which restaurant is cheaper and when will they cost the same. Okay, so sorry for giving you such little. So Good, write small. Cost more. Okay, let's say, yeah, we'll use Yummy. Yummy cost less, L-E-S, less, at the beginning because their entrance fee is $2 compared to $10 for So Good. At 8 people, 8 people, both companies charge $34. Doesn't matter who you go to. Okay, if you find any other room, I'll write down here. After 8 people, So Good would be cheaper. Cheaper because they charge less $3 than Yummy, who charge $4 per person. Per person. Per person. Okay. Okay. Here's where you need to all right. Okay. Here's, I think, this will be on your test on Friday, okay? I may need to give you guys more room. On the test, there'll be room at the bottom, so on Friday or Monday after that, I'm not sure when, put this at the bottom of the page. There'll be enough room. Explain how you solve the situation. Consider the following vocabulary word. So this is a quiz question, you guys. Explain how you solve this. Okay, how did we solve this? We first made the equation for So Good. We made that's the equation is called slope-intercept form. We made an equation of a line, because it's a line. If we graph it, remember these are all graphs, in slope intercept form for So Good. Okay, period. So equation of a line is a linear equation, so we made a linear equation so change that. Linear equation in slope and form for So Good. Okay. For Yummy, in order to make a linear equation, we first had to find rate of change to find slope. Let's use slope. Same thing, I will know. And then point slope form to solve into point slope form. Found the rate of change. Point slope form to solve into a slope intercept form. Slope intercept form. Lastly, we use substitution. This is substitution right here. We won't use y-intercept. We're going to use substitution Lastly, we use substitution to find where both restaurants charge the same. That's what we did. And with that, after that, we can explain which one is cheaper, which one is less by the equation, okay? There are very small insects in the world. Some, let me post this, and then I will